Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here and welcome to 60 and Me. You know, I get up in the morning sometimes and I think about all the women in our community. I try to visualize you in my mind, you know, as I'm thinking about the countries you live in, the cities and towns where your houses are. And, you know, I actually think I'm looking in the mirror. You know, I really do feel like over the 4 years that we've been doing 60 and Me articles and content and videos, that I've really gotten to understand that there's just this amazing bond that happens between older women, that we somehow have an understanding and agreement, you know, that we've got a shared experience. I mean, of course, we've all done different things in our lives. We're all at different levels of, you know, I don't know, economic levels and working or not working. We've got challenges with our health or not. We're living, you know, we're eating vegetarian or gluten-free or, you know, you name it. There's so much diversity. We're all different. But there's something that holds us together. And I feel really proud of that. And I just want to thank you again for all being here, for just kind of showing up and just revealing something of yourself. And today I want to talk about something that might reveal maybe more than we've ever revealed on this topic before. But before that, I want to tell you about my tea, because I am drinking lemon ginger. Lemon ginger is one of my favorite teas, and it's actually, I put more honey in there today, and it's super sweet and lovely, and I just felt like a sweet drink. Lemon ginger is really good for you too. But anyway, I wanted to chat about something and get it in the context so that we can all identify with it at some level or another. We can relate to it. Now, we have a fabulous blogger, excuse me, her name is Lisa Dunkel. Lisa lives in the Yucatan, and she's been writing for us for a year or so, and just amazing articles that really get to the heart of the female experience in your 60s. And she wrote an article some time ago. It was called, "Are You Feeling Sexty? What Seeing Your Sexuality Really Means." And it was quite a controversial article. It got a lot of comments and a lot of dialogue. And I just wanted to share it with you today and go through how Lisa describes the sexual experience as an older woman, sort of what it really does mean. Now, she said she wrote an article in the past. It was called "Have I Had Sex for the Last Time?" And it was her reflections on, you know, the transition that she was in her life. And of course, this was a very topical article, got lots of feedback, but it made her think about how we actually deal with the transition from being a very sexual person, perhaps in our youth, to that changing as we get a little older. And how, you know, the embarrassment and kind of controversy that raised highlighted for her how we probably should talk about it and make it more of a natural part of our dialogue. And she said that for her, the distinction was when she started to think about sexuality as not something that you do, but something that you are. And that being a sexual, sensual being has really got nothing to do with, you know, having sex. So, you know, certain cultures, in her opinion, and I agree with her, know how to kind of deal with this in a little bit more elegant way. And I think that being in Europe, and perhaps in her situation in Latin America and South America, have a bit more of a natural understanding that women and men of all ages have this sexual element to our personality. That is who we are. But it's not so much what we do with it, it's how we live it. So I think it's a really cool analogy, and she describes it as it's really about your essence as a person. You know, it's how you dress, how you listen, how you eat, how you walk, how you engage with other people. It's how you do everything. It's just that sexual, and I'll use the word sexual and sensual together because for me, they kind of blend. And of course, we have a youth culture now that's so obsessed with sexuality, well, as it should. I mean, we're human beings, that, you know, we sometimes compare ourselves to that being our definition, but as a result, we're kind of considered not normal. So, you know, if unless you're thinking about it all the time, you're not considered to be in that category of sexual beings, you know, where you just feel good about your sexuality. So, as she says, sex does not define you after you're 60. And for most older women, it's sort of not a high item on our list. But there are other ways, and Pearlie Ann Friedman, another one of our bloggers, wrote about this, about, self-love, about feeling, touching yourself, feeling good about, just having an experience that makes you feel like a woman. And I think it's really kind of something we don't talk about very often, but maybe it's something that we should. She says that everything in life has its cycle. In childhood, we've got this dormant sexuality that blossoms and grows, and it gets enhanced and ignited, by the hormones of wanting to have children, or at least wanting to enjoy that part of our body that comes into fruition at that adult time in our life. But as the hormones decline and we change in so many ways in our 60s, where does that have a place? So she says that what is sexuality? And being sort of interested in life is really what she considers being sexual. Seriously sexy, she calls it. And she says she'll speak for herself. And I'm going to read this because I actually really like Lisa's definition of what it means to be sexy in your 60s. She says, it's my clothes, it's my hair, it's my attitude, it's my joy and compassion and gusto for art and music, literature, theater, travel, knitting, reading, and cooking, being passionate about my life, about my family, my interests, and my hobbies. It's being ardent about a book that I'm reading, or consumed about a political issue. And I think that's, being interested in life is sexy. It says the spirit inside of you that wants to engage with the world in a total way. And feeling that passion and that joy of life is just how we live as we move from being, a mother or, a partner in a marriage or a relationship into something that's more subtle. And, there's been a lot of talk about this, about older women and sexuality, and many people say that it's a much better experience. I mean, Jane Fonda said that, she's now 75. I think she's in a very passionate relationship. Loving relationship, at least. I remember she was interviewed on Oprah, and she said, my lover and I, have a really wonderful sex life. And Oprah said, your lover? And she goes, well, it's a bit silly to call him my boyfriend at age 75. But, there's a lot of women who are talking about it in that way, that whatever form that takes in a relationship, it's passionate, it's powerful, it's intimate. And so I think that's kind of cool. And you don't have to be sort of an extrovert, to get out there and dress, looking sexy and alluring. You just, it's just about the way that you present yourself with an open heart and a compassionate, sort of view of the world. I think it's really fun. So the bottom line is, just because there may not be a man or woman in your life, it doesn't mean that you can't be a sexy and sensual, passionate human being. So I think that was really, for me, an article that that touched a nerve. I mean, there's a lot of people who say, I'm not even interested in dating. I don't even care about having a man in my life anymore. And maybe they equate that decision with not being a sexy person. But I think if you follow Lisa's definition, if you just feel good about life and express, an interest in life in a sexy way, that's good enough. That's exactly how it should be at our age, to have that choice. So I think I think she ends her article by saying, let's just have some fun, lighten up. And I love her for that, for that attitude. It's very powerful and positive. So that's our chat for today. Maybe you'd like to talk about it a bit. It's not something that we've actually shared too much in 60andMe. I don't think I've ever actually raised this topic in a discussion like this. So if you've got some thoughts about, your sexuality in your 60s, let's talk about it. Leave your comments below. Let's have a conversation. It's just us girls, so we can be open with each other. Having said that, do be thoughtful about what you put on Facebook, because Facebook, our group is an open Facebook page. That means it's not closed. You don't, anyone can join. We've got over 100,000 women. So do be thoughtful about what you say in Facebook, because even though it won't be shared on your Facebook page, unless you ask it to be shared, it's still an open platform. So I just say that because, I don't know why I say that, because it's just a topic that you might feel more sensitive about. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to this conversation today, and hope it sparks something in you, that you feel like more of a sensual, passionate person than you did when we started talking. And I'd love to know, how do you feel about your sexuality? How do you feel about your sexuality in your 60s? I'd love a conversation. Let's just have a chat, and we'll compare notes and can talk to each other about this another time as well. But do have a wonderful day today. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.